All right, welcome to BinJuice podcast. Now, in this podcast, we throw something in the bin that we don't like about something. Today's topic's going to be 2020, a review of the year. You know, we all have something we didn't like. We're ignoring COVID because, well, if everyone could chuck it in the bin, they probably would. So let's jump into it. Summer, you can start.
Hi. Me.
Hi.
Hello. I'm doing cancel culture because I'm sick, and I mean sick of people having to apologize for the most stupid things that ever existed.
So,
Such as
such as
I've got like all of the different times we're going on a rant about offline TV, the whole Fed stuff, and the fact that Yvonne and Lily had to apologise for coming forward about the stuff they did with Fed and were going to get cancelled because it was clout chasing.
Yeah, true. That whole situation was pretty messy.
Like, no. And just the amount of YouTubers, like Jenna Marbles left because she cancelled herself.
Yeah, fair.
Actually, what happened?
Well, so what happened was, I think there was a brief spat on Twitter where people were pulling up some of her really, really old videos where there was, I believe it was some things that could be taken slightly, slight racism, but it was a long, long time ago, and she'd already apologized multiple times for it in the past and deleted the videos and everything. They were completely gone and everything. But people brought it up again, and she basically just said that the internet's too much stress for her, and she doesn't think she can become a better person while still being involved in the internet, and has just left everything. Social media, streaming, podcasting, YouTube, gone.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, I suppose with like the pressure of the internet, it's probably the best. Like, as much as we all miss her, it probably is the best of a worst outcome.
So, surely, to get rid of cancel culture, we just need to bin Twitter.
I don't think it's just Twitter, though.
I think it's mainly Twitter.
The
You look at
YouTube drama channels, though. The YouTube drama
also
channels.
Facebook and these. What is it with like
I
these
think
weird
Twitter's-
WhatsApp chains? Have you ever I don't know.
No.
Oh, the amount of times, right? I get a message from my mum. She's like, "Oh yeah, there's just been this news sent around WhatsApp," and I'm like, "I don't care. It's been sent around like 50 different 40-year-old middle-aged women's groups."
Okay, yeah, for older people over the age of 30, Facebook provides a lot of news.
Yes.
Some would argue that is false, but as far as YouTube drama and other things related to sort of Twitch, YouTube space, Twitter is so bad
Twitter's
for it.
the worst place, yeah.
Because it is sort of like someone screaming into a tunnel, hoping that someone at the end of it's just like, "Yeah, you're right, mate," and.
True, Insta's quite bad for it though as well.
Instagram is quite bad.
But it's not. There's not so much of a shout and response. I feel.
Instagram's mainly the stories. It's not actual.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anyone actually posting cancel stuff. It's just on their stories.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It's like people post stories of what they believe, what they think, and some of it's I'm gonna get hate for this, but some vegans, some of the stuff that they post is borderline harassment to whoever views it, because it can be so not all vegans, obviously, some of the very, very liberal ones that want you to join their view.
Yeah, the really preachy ones.
Yeah. But I think Twitter, some of the arguments are on Twitter, the stuff this year with the cancel culture, with XQC, Alinity, Ninja and his wife. That whole argument chain where all of XQC was getting cancelled by some people for being sexist, and then people cancelling Ninja for supporting his wife in a way that wasn't fair, and it became a whole thing of gamers against gamers.
The same as what people were cancelling iDubbbz for supporting his partner.
However, luckily him as a human managed to twist that on its head, and it wasn't that. It was a big deal in some Reddit
Some of it's so
hole, but-
petty. Like in general, I'd say
Oh
I
my
understand
God.
cancelling someone if they are like blatantly racist or homophobic or murdering people or being a
No, but then if
predator,
they murder
etc.
someone, then some white girl somewhere that loves serial killer documentary is still going to stand them. So like,
But like,
even serial
Jack
killers don't
got
get cancelled.
cancelled.
Yeah, true.
Jacksepticeye got cancelled because he tweeted, "Imagine not having a PS5." He got so much flack for that because people didn't realize that it was a joke. Yeah. He had to make an
Wait.
apology video and everything for it. And it's
Wait,
like,
what?
really? You just tweeted about people not having a PS5? Come on.
What?
Did you not hear about this?
No, I did not see that. That's the
So-
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Just before, because obviously he's such a big like YouTuber, he obviously got a PS5 like press release. He got it early,
Yeah.
and I think he tweeted out as he got it, "Oh yeah, imagine being one of those people to not get a PS5 because you know how everywhere was sold out, like it was
Yeah.
such a big
Yeah.
hype." He tweeted that. He got that tweet blew up and he got so much flack for it. He had to write a written apology on Twitter within the chain, and even that wasn't good enough. So he had to make a full-blown YouTube video saying, "Look, I'm sorry. People clearly didn't understand that it was a joke. I know people that were very upset that they didn't manage to get a PS5, but please understand that it was a joke at the end of the day."
I couldn't imagine people getting that annoyed over.
It-
But I guess
Bad.
that's exactly what you mean, Summer. Anyways, it's
Yeah.
cancel culture.
It's petty, and there's no need for save it for the real fucking issues in the world, please. Thank you. That's my piece. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming to my TED talk.
Well then, moving gratefully on, CaptainAlexKactus.
I just want to cancel hoarders. Like, I know obviously we've gone through the whole pandemic and everything, and whenever everyone's just started like panic buying, they weren't just panic buying food or toilet paper or whatever. They were panic buying stuff on Amazon. Like people were genuinely just hoarding like tech stuff, and they were just hoarding random things, which meant prices of everything went up. And obviously we have like a new generation of streamers, like the COVID lot, because of the
Yeah.
pandemic. But no one can afford anything because hoarders have just bought out the whole stock, and people are like, well, we're gonna have to hike up the prices just so
Yeah.
we have less orders. But that doesn't stop people. So people are just buying so much unnecessary stuff for
Yeah.
no reason.
So like,
And yeah, we thought it was the end of the world.
I mean,
but-
it's not far off. Did you see all the stuff coming out of like at the beginning of like the first lockdown when everything was getting into when the capitalism failed and the hoarding came with loads of issues? There was problems manufacturing a lot of computer parts. So now the scalpers, because if manufacturing hasn't still gone back to normal,
Yeah.
scalpers have bought like all the 3070s and 3080s so that the price drop that happened on the announcement to the 20 series graphics cards is now gone again. They're back to normal
Yeah.
price because you can't get
Yeah.
3070, 3080 for loads of money.
Which is nice. If I wanted to sell my card, get some. No, I
Get a
couldn't.
decent bit of cash, but you wouldn't have a card in your rig though, because you can't find the
That's
30s
beside
anywhere.
the point.
It's fine.
It's not how that works.
What annoyed me about that situation was I think it was mostly I seen it that it was always it was like a few Americans that did it. People like hoarding hand sanitizers and disinfectants and
I have a story about
nappies
this.
and baby formula and
Yeah.
then charging like way more for essentials like baby food and nappies and so and I
Yeah.
was furious. Like I was so glad, wasn't it? Like one guy had his garage raided by police because he done it, and they took it all away, and then he
Yeah.
got like fined and stuff. And I was like, thank
It was-
God, because it's ridiculous.
He's trying to sell it, but no one would buy it.
Insulin was the other thing that
Oh,
people
yeah.
were buying out.
Yeah.
Insulin.
So
There's no need.
I know someone that bought out like maybe 4 or 5 Amazon sellers of hand sanitizer. And this was when they were really cheap. He then sold an individual bottle for £10. Imagine the profit. He had over like 150 bottles. So imagine the profit that he made. He's like an old school friend. He's so like business smart. So as soon as he saw people were doing that, he was like, right, I'm going to capitalize this. He did this on tissues, gloves, the cheap like disposable blue face masks that everyone used to wear before the fabric ones came into fashion, and hand sanitizers, and he just like hike up the price like crazy amounts. But now, because no one's really buying hand sanitizer anymore, because no one really cares at this point about what's going on.
Well, it's more
He's
about
just got loads
breathing than hands, isn't it?
He's got like he started buying printers. It got that bad. His hoarding got that bad. He bought about 7 or 8 different printers because he knew that people needed to work at home and like send off letters.
That's crazy.
So now he's just got loads of really expensive Canon like proper inkjet office printers just in his house because he hoarded them.
But kind of like serves him right because he was taking like the piss out of basically a situation that really vulnerable people need to have these things. He deserves it.
I obviously didn't go out buy loads of toilet paper or anything like that because I trusted in the system, which was wrong of me. I should have never done that. But when I moved into this flat 3 months ago now or something like that, I was on the other side of the flat with different roommates, so we have a shared toilet, and the other flatmates have the other toilet. And I was just being like, is there anything special, specific? I'll buy toilet paper, whatever we need. And she was like, no, we've got toilet paper in this cupboard. My mum panic bought and gave me a lot. We have only just now, literally this week as we're filming this, only just now run out of that toilet paper from when I moved in.
Wow.
So that's 3 months without having to buy any. I bought some anyways, which I'm glad of because we just ran out of that. But I've bought like 1 4-pack and we've just started that. So they've lasted from March until now. And that's where hoarding is just too much. Obviously, it's still got used. Like, capitalism still works, you know. But it just took so long for us to get through it all. And it's like, what? Why? Like,
it just took up storage space that could be put to use some other way.
It's just crazy the things people like. Toilet paper is one of the understandable ones, but even though it's a respiratory virus and not anything else, it was a bit of a strange thing to start hoarding.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost as if there's like nukes coming and we're about to all go underground or something. That is how people treated it.
Understandable if you hoard like asthma pumps. Fine. If you need to breathe, you need to breathe. But
yeah, I mean, it was a bit reminiscent of you know when it snows.
Yeah. It's like you have
to begin
people that hoard bread and milk, and it's like you realise they have a really short expiration date on it. Like, and
pasta
flour
and
because everyone was baking, weren't they? Because they were all stuck at home, making their own bread because they couldn't get bread in the shops.
Yeah.
So flour was gone from
my
the
mum
store
tried to bake a different cake or like sweet treat every week. That went on for about 5 weeks, and then she just gave up, started again for 3 weeks, and then just has completely given up because the idea that she has to spend it takes like an hour and a half to bake
depending what you
something.
make.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Just I know it's a productive thing to do, but if you're baking a cake for 3 of us, because only 3 of us live here, my brother that doesn't actually really eat cake, he'll eat it if it's stale and the last thing in the cupboards. I'm just probably not going to eat it. I'll probably be eating like crisps or cheese instead. Like, so it was just her eating through the cakes that she was making, and it was such a pointless thing.
Well, at least it's like using the flour you hoarded. No, it's like snow days when like people panic because they see snow's coming, and then you go to the supermarket and there's like no milk, eggs, or bread, and it's like
it's ridiculous because we live in the 2000s. We have a network of supplies constantly brought to our shop. It doesn't mean it snows. That's it. All the chickens stop working.
No, that's it. And
all
of
the
a
chickens
sudden,
have died out.
It's as if people think that, you know, we live in England. We don't live in Finland or anywhere. Even then, they don't hoard because they know how to deal with it.
Because they don't exist. Oh wait, sorry.
Let's not delve down that rabbit hole. But like what? We get 2 inches of snow, which is very easily like Tesco Expresses pop up everywhere now. They take old pubs, renovate them, turn into. You literally can't go for more than like a mile without a corner store or a Tesco Express in line. There is no way unless you are unable to leave the house, snow will affect your life. Things still go on, shops still open, you can still walk out over to them.
Might be a bit slippery and a bit chilly.
It might affect your Ocado or Waitrose order, but
That's
still,
what I'm
like,
saying.
you know.
Unless you can't leave the house and you have to get someone to deliver your food.
Not me.
Then
Yeah.
there's no point in hoarding anything over, like, I don't know, a loaf of bread.
Yeah, or like buy one loaf of bread and put the other one in the freezer. I understand that if you're not planning for a few days, freeze it, defrost it, use it, whatever. The same with milk, you know.
I have a strong image of someone like opening a full like chest, a proper freezer, you know, the tall ones.
Chest. Oh,
yeah, like a proper like tall freezer, and they just open the door and it's just filled with loaves of bread. Like top to bottom.
What are we having today? We've got bread.
We're gonna have a main of toast with a butter sandwich, and then for dinner, dessert, we're gonna have a bread pudding.
Oh,
It's
a questionable
maybe
dessert.
Milky bread as well for a drink.
Milky bread as well. Oh.
No, they just drink the eggs that they've bought. Just raw eggs down the hatch. Turn into bodybuilders.
Oh
no.
Lord.
No.
I think we can go to my one
Let's
raw eggs.
Stop making up about the bodybuilder egg.
Raw eggs is where we'll end. Yeah. So my 2020 thing that I'd love to throw in the bin, and it's not just a 2020 thing. I'll be honest. It's Karens.
Oh.
Now everyone's seen the clips. It's a internet phenomenon, viral trend. I think that the Karens are going for. Charlie Brooker made that 2020 documentary that summed up a Karen perfectly.
It was so funny.
But I think America has had the videos of the worst, of the ones like, it's my right to not wear a mask, and it's like, that's fine, but at least do it like peacefully, calmly.
Yeah.
But no, they just don't do it calmly. They don't have logic. They share things on like Live, Laugh, Love on Facebook without any worry. They want to speak to the manager all the time. And I've had experiences with them back in when I worked in retail that still make me laugh to this day, because of I don't like to suffer idiots in real life. Deal with enough on the internet, especially Karens, that I just want them gone. I want, or maybe not even put the Karens in the bin, just say access to the internet, and then at least we'd have a little bit of a quieter time on all of our social media platforms. So
That'd be nice.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Nice.
Wouldn't have to see a quote like, "A sun's not just for a day."
What's the guy equivalent of a Karen?
It's like a Dave in it. In England, I think I'd say Dave. It doesn't translate well, I don't think.
I know some Daves.
But
like, because there are guy Karens.
oh yeah,
There are guy Karens, yeah.
Like,
Billy Connolly did the best one. It's generally the guy that has still long hair on. Wait, this is me. Still long hair on the sides, and then is thinning up the top so they have a proper comb over. And they're like, "Can I speak to the manager, please?" Or they're the ones that won't tip.
oh yeah,
People that don't tip deserve to go in the bin.
True, but
True.
it's not my pick, sadly. So.
I've had it. Do you know what? When I worked in retail, and I worked in a few different types of stores and stuff in retail, I think I only had one lady Karen, but probably like 20 odd guy Karens. I don't know if they centre in on like, yes, look, there's this tiny small lady there. We'll bully her.
Funnily enough, yes, I think this is well deeper in the psychology, but generally men like that will pick on the girl, and the Karens don't care.
Yeah.
Karens are ruthless. They'll go for anyone. Unless you're non-binary. They're kind of like...
Confused.
Confusion.
Where?
Do you work here? Nah, probably not. But it's like, what is it on Facebook as well? You get all the Karens that spread the thing of like 5Gs are killing the birds and they're going to microchip you and all that, and it's like,
The birds are
No.
webcams.
It's yeah, but they are.
Have you not heard the theory?
No, have you
So
not?
all of when was it? It was like when was the Cold War? It was whenever the Cold War
Yeah.
happened, right? I don't know when the Cold War happened.
About 1960s to late 80s.
Okay.
When it was
mid
like
80s.
-10, that was when it
Summer.
Oh,
When
Lord.
the Cold War happened, apparently all of the birds disappeared and they were replaced with spy birds. And one of the like conspiracy theories behind like coronavirus is because the birds' batteries needs to be changed, so everyone needs to be kept inside, so they can change all of the batteries in the bird.
This is great.
I
What
think
about
I've heard like a
pet
side theory of that as well, of the reason why England is people are catching on, so they had to end lockdown with only half the birds, and then slowly do it over time.
To re-add
makes
some more
sense.
birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because while you were inside, did you see any birds outside? No, because we were all kept inside.
Yeah. Also,
I
pet
am in a room
birds.
with no windows. So that,
I don't know, just Google a picture of a bird and be like, that's a webcam.
Yeah.
You know how the FBI agent looked through your webcam? No, it's birds on screen.
my FBI agent is Big Bird.
What are other famous? Mine's Scuttle from The Little Mermaid. Because we are identical twins.
Mine's just a seagull from Finding Nemo.
Mine.
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 But
Like, where does it come from? Where does their like
Where does it
privilege
go?
come from?
it's like a sense of like I've worked in like I've done my part. You should give me my service, or like they don't understand the basic concept of paying for a service and that things can go wrong. So my favourite one, and this is from my experience in retail, that this is the one that I like so much because it was sort of when I've put in my notice. So I was still doing my job to the best of my ability, but I wouldn't take as much shit from customers because, well, I'm gone soon. What are they going to complain about? I'm going to get fired? Cool, I'm leaving anyway. It's like I didn't have a redundancy package. There was none of that coming, so I just had what I had. So I got a phone call, and the phone call basically went like this. I was working in a skate/ski shop, so I sold someone a winter jacket, and it was coming to the end of the season. So some people try and return them cheekily, be like, "Oh, I paid 300 quid for this, but I didn't wear it." And I'm like, "You obviously wore it." But this one was a step further. Is they were like, "We bought a ski jacket, and well, it ripped when we were on holiday, so now we're back. We're thinking if we can get a refund." I'm like, "That's fine. Did you wear it skiing and on the slopes?" And they're like, "Yeah, my son did wear it." And I'm like, "Well, then it broke due to damage probably caused by him falling over or something like this. It's natural. It happens to ski jackets. If you're trying to use them properly, they might rip. It's sort of, yes, you're paying a lot of money and it probably won't rip, but depends on what you're doing with it." That's all I can say, ma'am. I'm sorry. I can't give you a refund. She's like, "Yeah, but what if I bring it in?" I'm like, "No, you can't get a refund." Like, "Well, I paid for this and I expect it to be working." And I start laughing down the phone. I'm a bit like, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you." Like, there's nothing I can do. And she's like, "Well, you're laughing. Let me speak to the manager." I'm like, "I am. I'm in charge here. Like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do." She keeps on going on. It's like, "What's your name? I'll come in." I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm about to end for the day. I'm not giving you my name. See you later." Comes in the next day, speaks to me. She's like, "I was on the phone yesterday and someone laughed at me." I'm like, "I wouldn't know who that is, man. I'm so sorry." No idea
Definitely
who that
wasn't
was.
me.
And really tried. It wasn't that big a hole. It was like that or something. It obviously just fell on like a bit of a stone and it caught, like whatever. And I was like, "I'm sorry, if it's used in normal wear and tear, you or your son has used this jacket, you've got your money's worth." He's like, "Yeah, but I paid 150 quid. I was like, "I'm sorry, that doesn't make you special. That doesn't change that you've bought a snow jacket and gone out on the snow and used it." Like, but it's the same thing. And like, sometimes I get being entitled, Like, if you're in a restaurant, you expect good service.
Yeah,
But to me, that's where tipping comes in, and that's where you show your gratitude or annoyance to something. Unless you're paying a lot of money, but I don't really pay a lot of money for food, so that's not me, sadly. Yeah.
I just confuse. It's the entitlement, or the other thing in retail is them asking if you can change the price.
Yeah.
And it's like, you realise I just work here. I don't.
I am not
I'm
the
not
supplier.
the CEO here. I
Yeah.
don't make the decision. I just work. I put numbers in a till.
Yeah, it's almost as if you're at some Egyptian bazaar or something and trying to sell your wares.
Trying to haggle with them, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to barter it. It's like...
Yeah.
You get that a lot in pubs sometimes, from my experience in
Really?
pubs. Yeah, no, people will be like,
What are you
oh,
trying
but
to sell?
if I pay cash... And I'm like, a pint's a pint. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're trying to barter for a pint. I thought you were like trying to do some like dodgy sofa deals down in your pub. I was like, sorry.
No, it's like, come down to cellar, mate. I've got something for you.
Be like, I am DFS. We are always on sale.
No, I don't work in a brothel, I'm afraid. I'm not.
I was actually referring to sofas, but okay.
Okay, sorry. That's like... Take card? Yeah, just swipe it.
Oh no, friend!
No.
Oh,
my
Lord.
God. No, that went too off topic. No.
Yeah, well, I think a good way to end this is shall we try and decide which one we'd most prefer to actually get rid of?
Oh God, that's difficult.
As much as I
I'd say
like
cancel
Karens,
culture.
I'd say cancel culture.
Because Karens, you're never going to get rid of Karens.
No.
If the Karens go, you'll end up with like the Louises or something. There'll be some other person to replace them.
Sorry, Louise, if you're watching. Sorry.
It's fine.
Like hoarders, there's always going to be that one person that you look in their garage and they just have about 42 TVs and 15 freezers. Like,
How big is that fucking?
they're still
It's
they're
fucking
all
big.
set up. It's one
It's
wall
big.
of screen.
One crawl space down the middle of it all. That's all you get.
Yeah,
Proper hoarders.
stack the freezers on top of each other.
But then, how do you get rid of cancel culture?
You cancel
Burn
culture.
the internet. You type Google into Google.
Google, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How to break the internet. Type
break the
Google into
internet.
Google.
I think that's the cancel culture is, if we could get rid of it, probably definitely the best to get rid of.
I want to know what other people would get rid of.
Well, yeah, I mean, comments if for people on listening or Spotify or Amazon, go to YouTube, leave a comment, tell us what you'd get cancel. It doesn't have to be our topics. You can come up with your own. There's a lot of stuff that happened in 2020 that people would probably get rid of.
Yeah.
Bloody lot.
I mean, there is a lot. I don't want to get too political, otherwise I'd have picked a different one. But like, feel free to leave it. You can have arguments within yourselves. I don't care.
Just keep it civil, please.
Just keep it civil. Don't cancel each other.
Thank you.
There we go.
Cancelling.
Don't be a Karen about it. Don't hoard the comments either. Just leave them. All right. Thank you for watching. This has been BinJuice with BangItsSummer on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, everything. CaptainAlexKactus on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and everything. And I'm NovaScrim. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Wow.